Do you guys know the cost of a gallon of gas in 2000? It was about $1.75. Now it's $4 a gallon. It's ridiculous. So I don't know how much you guys pay for a gallon of gas. I pay about $40 or $60, and that's twice weekly. I drove about 80 miles round trip, and the average person doesn't drive that much, but they still spend about 5% of their pay on gas. It's not that high of a percent, but it's really a pointless expense. Unfortunately, some of the costs of gas are going to refineries' profits. But what makes up a gallon of gas and the price? Why is it so expensive? There's 4 categories to the cost of a gallon of gas. In 2000, crude oil was 40%, tax was 30%, and marketing and distribution was 15%. Refining took about 15% of the costs. But since it's changed, since the price rose, most of the cost is crude oil. Taxes have been reduced to 15%. Marketing and distribution, I don't know if you can read that, but that's only 6% right now. Refining has been dropped to 15% as well. The most interesting part about it is since the price went up, refineries had to increase their profitability. So before, it was hard for refineries to find investors to invest in their companies, because refining isn't the type of business you want to invest your money in. But recently, what they've done is they've increased their profitability to find more investors. So they've even had 25 times of return on their dollar. It's kind of ironic because I found it on an article from Shell about Chevron, saying they make 25 times the amount of money they put into their refining process. So unfortunately, all the price that we're paying for a gallon of gas basically goes to the refineries' profits. What changes the price of gas? Natural disasters and things like Hurricane Katrina. During Hurricane Katrina, 10% of the U.S. refineries shut down and significantly rose the price of gas everywhere. Even things like the war that was going on in Libya, that increased the price of gas all over the world because most of the world's gas goes through a channel that's right by Libya. So another reason why gas is going up. The United States is suffering because the increase of the price of gas has caused people to spend more money on foreign cars. So our domestic car companies have gotten in trouble. Recently they've been bankrupt almost, and the government had to bail them out. And since the government bailout, it's actually improved their making of hybrid cars and electric cars. They've produced cars like the Chevy Volt, which is pretty much all electric. I know there's an electric car company called Tesla that makes only electric cars. And even Ford has a good amount of hybrids as well too. Now domestic car makers' main goal is fuel efficiency. It sucks because before they used to make muscle cars and big trucks that were like gas guzzlers because everyone could afford that. But now it's a little bit different with gas being $4 a gallon. Some ways to avoid the cost of gas. It's about carpooling with people you know. Just because you have a car doesn't mean you always have to use it. You can always walk places, bike around sometimes. It's probably better for our economy if you buy a bike instead of spending more money on fuel and feeding the oil refineries' profits. If you live in San Jose, the light rail is actually really good. Every time you go downtown, you don't have to pay for parking. And it's pretty quick too. Now the breakdown of gas doesn't really mean too much, but just know that most of the extra money that you spend by breaking the bank to fill your tank goes to oil refineries' profits. And there's always other ways to spend your 5% of pay instead of on gas. I'll talk more about how to save gas in my persuasive speech.